What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Bit Heroes. Finally, the servers are fixed. So I wasn't able to play for about 55 hours or so, but best part of 2.5 days, which kind of sucked, but it is all fixed now. And as far as I'm aware, everyone is back and able to play. If you still can't play, that sucks, but I think it's all fixed now. I'm a little surprised that the devs didn't do any form of compensation, but I guess it is a free-to-play game. So, you know, whatever. If it was something like some subscription-based, like World of Warcraft or something, and the servers were down for 2 days, not only would you have like 15 million angry nerds annoying the shit out of you, but they would have to give some compensation because it's a paid subscription thing. This is 100% free if you want it to be. So, yeah. Anyway, servers are fixed, so that's the main thing, which is good. So, it is Thursday, it is capture day. We have 100% capture rate bonus. It's doubled because of the anniversary, which is awesome. We also have our 40% from our runes, which is doubly awesome. So, we're going to do it. We need a few things, right? We need, to do Walkham, we need a Wardy, we need the duo robots, we need Griffin, we need Yeti for the Fatty. We need a few things. So considering that we have this awesome bonuses and stuff, let's just do a bit of everything. So we'll start off and we'll go to Yeti. We'll do a few Yetis. Then we'll do maybe a few Wardies, and then we'll do a raid 2 and a raid 4, or 2 raid 2s and 2 raid 4s. We'll see how we go for time. But we'll start off, rather than just do the one dungeon or raid for the whole video, we'll switch it up and just do a bit of everything, because that double bonus is quite nice. And without buying the capture rate tome thing, which I think is a waste of gems, personally, we're in the best possible position we can be, which we always are. You know, because we have the runes, the legendary runes, but the fact that we have double bonus for today is huge. So we have a very good chance of capturing something. Now I have taken the common and rare duplicate thing off offer. So we won't be getting any trees or penguins or what's the other thing? Turkey, that's the one. Offering themselves up for persuasion, but it'll just be bosses and stuff. So hopefully we can get a Yeti or a Wardy or a Duomboz or whatever they're called, or a Griffin, or all of them. That would be ideal actually. So we'll see how we go. We've already killed the Yeti for this dungeon, so no dice for this one, but there's quite a few to go. We do have pretty much full energy, and we have 8 raids as well. Not that we'll get through all that in the video, but I am basically full on all of my consumables as far as raids and dungeons and all that stuff goes. So yeah, we're looking good. We're right at the start of the day, basically. And let's go again. So we'll do maybe 3 Yetis, 3 Wardies. Sounds pretty good. They don't take too long, so. And then some raids, as I said. So we're still working on doing the stabled Walkham, which is really good. We do have him +2, and already that's made a bit of a difference. So +5, I imagine, would be awesome. And then we also, if we ever make the mythic Waldigger, whatever he's called, I never know how to pronounce it, and someone actually made fun of me for pronouncing it the way I do, which I thought was cool and funny. But if we do end up making him, you know, we still have a +4 Walkham in reserve, and then, you know, it shouldn't take too long to make just one to get into +5. In which case, +5 Walkham would be a shit hot healer, right? Okay, no Yeti for this one either. I know that the new expeditions, that some of the new fusions for the expedition, there was a really good healer from that and a really good tank from that. I don't have either of those schematics. So I think Walkham's our best bet for healer. And considering we've already put in the time to get him to +2, we may as well just go +5 him, right? And he's definitely good. He's not like he's shit league. So yeah, the problem I have is the tank. So in a previous video last week, I don't know if it was the last video before this one, but in a previous video, I was talking about the difference between Meaty and Bobodom in doing trials and gauntlets and stuff. So for PvP, I'm not too worried because I use Roleska at the front, and then I don't really use a tank. I just use Roleska at the front as a offensive tank. And then I use, you know, I've got Your Lag, I've got Korgs, I've got Walkham, I've got Remoraid, I've got all these different, and then soon I'll have Fatty. So I'm not really worried about a tank for PvP. It's for Trials and Gauntlets. So at the moment I can do 340 most of the time, but it's rough. Meaty's really good in the fact that he has like an absolute shit ton of health, but he has no attack whatsoever, so, or speed. In a way that's kind of good, because it means he hardly ever actually attacks. He just sits there and, hey, nice, congrats. In a way that's good because he just sits there and takes damage and takes damage and takes damage and never actually really attacks. He attacks once in a blue moon, which means that myself and Walkham are attacking / healing like more. So in a way that's good, but he's only got 10% absorb, I think it is, which 10% mitigation isn't that high compared to if you look at Oxlaroth and Zolivby. They got 40% block, you know, 30% more mitigation, which is huge. And then if you look at Bobodom, he's got 20% evade, so that's double the mitigation. Come on, damn it. That's double the mitigation that Meaty has. But the trade-off is that he doesn't have anywhere near as much health, but he does do some damage. So I've been toying around with both of them. We're doing a Wardy dungeon now. Sorry, I'll just get that started. Is it this? It is this. I've been toying around with Bobodom and Meaty, and I remember saying that Meaty doesn't work so well and I've been using Bobodom. I've actually gone back to Meaty now. So I don't think I'm going to ever stable Meaty because it's too many Yobbit Hobbit feet, and we need those Hobbit feet for Velk for the Walkham anyway, right? So stabling Meaty is out of the question at the moment. So I would like a better tank, a more reliable tank at some point. So yeah, don't know what we're gonna do for that. At the moment, I'm getting it done most of the time, but I'm using I'm using 3 potions every single time. So I'm gonna eat through my potion stack doing you know, 2, well, more than 2, probably 6 Trials Gauntlets a day times 3 potions is gonna, you know, thin down my potion stack quite a bit. I don't mind using the medium potions because I can just buy them for gold, but sometimes I need to use the full potions, and yeah, I don't want to run out of them. So anyway, so hopefully when Expeditions comes back, if it's the same expedition, so I was talking about that before, whether it's going to be a completely new expedition with new enemies, new bosses, new schematics, new everything, or if it's the same, I'll just do the I'll give up on getting the fatty mount for the moment, and I'll just do the expedition that has that tank schem in it and try and get that, and then yeah, that'll be the plan, I think. Alright, so 4 dungeons down, no offer for Persuasion, which is a bit of a ball sack, but, you know, it is RNG, and it is Bit Heroes, the grindiest of grindy games, so, you know, you can't expect to get everything first time. But we'll do 2 more of this, and then we'll go into some raids as well. But, yeah, as I mentioned, Walkham is going to be our healer for probably forever. Because we've committed to him, but the tank is the slight issue at the moment. We are lucky that we did get our legendary pet recently, which is really good, so I don't need to particularly worry about that anymore. I mean, I did change to 60%, or upgraded, but the 60% only when I hit, so I've had a few comments about that, like, is it better to do the 30% when I get hit, when you hit, and each turn, or is it better to do 60%? I didn't know. I thought it might have been better to do the 30% across the board rather than 60, but then I've got quite a bit of speed, so I thought I'm attacking quite often, and I don't know. So I'm trying this out at the moment for 60%. But the good thing is we have a legendary pet, right? So every pet we get from here out, we can just like destroy to get the critter, or the pet juice stuff, whatever it's called, to upgrade him. So at some point I am going to have to buy more pet eggs to get just trash pets to destroy to get the materials to upgrade this guy, but all of our efforts will focus on getting a legendary accessory. Even though this accessory is really good for an epic accessory, like I think it's the best one, but that's just biased because I love dual strike. But you know, a legendary accessory would be the tits, right? Because then we just have legendary both, and then we like, you know, we look like we're awesome, and you know that we're paid to win and all the rest of it, even though we are not and haven't spent a cent. But we only have about 1,000 gems, and I'm saving up for the big fuck off accessory box, which is like 5k. So we're not buying an accessory box anytime soon. But again, when we do, and if we get a legendary, then we can get rid of all of our other accessories. I might keep like a tank one or something, just in case I ever decide to go bait or something, because I think I have a tank accessory somewhere. But yeah, effectively we can get rid of all of that and then use all of that accessory materials to upgrade that legendary fully. And then that way, you know, I know there's like a lot of people that put money into it have a few different accessories and a few different pets depending on what kind of build they're going for. So if they're going full tank, if they're going bait tank, if they're going DPS, etc. But as free to play, like once we get one of each, that'll be it, right? Unless in opening a you know, a further pet egg down the track, we get a pet that I prefer, then I could get rid of the toe bit, and use the new one. But yeah, all that pet eggs from now on will just be the cheapy ones, just to get pets to destroy for materials, and then the same thing for accessory when we get the legendary. Hopefully all that made sense. So I think this is the third warty dungeon we're doing. If it's not, doesn't matter, we'll just go to raids after this. But so far, no love, which is a bit irritating. But again, can't expect to get everything. We have completed some bounties, or at least a bounty, without trying, which is always good. So I did have a comment during the week. I try to do this during each week. I try to mention some of the comments that I've got during the week, so that if someone didn't see that comment and has a similar question, maybe I can answer it. Because sometimes I get like quite a few comments that are similar enough to each other that obviously the people just haven't read the comment section, which is fine. I completely understand that. Scrolling through comments is kind of annoying. But yeah, one of the comments I got was, why are you doing your dungeons by yourself without fams and or friends or whatever? And the reason is, if I can do a dungeon by myself, so like Warty dungeon, I have no issues doing solo. I will do it solo instead of with fams or with friends, purely because you get those, I've mentioned this before, but you get those bounties, which we can have a look at quickly. Defeat 20 encounters, okay. Oh, we did all of these. Okay, we completed the dungeon. Let's get out of here and have a look at what I was talking about. These ones, defeat 3 dungeons solo, right? So you get this lone wolf bounty, and you'll get one that'll be like defeat 3 dungeons without other players, which means you can use your familiars. But basically, you get these bounties quite a bit. And so if I just do the dungeons that I can complete by myself, solo, then I just complete those bounties without even have to worry about them. Like, I don't need to look at them, and because sometimes you get the bounty list and you've got like 7 bounties and stuff, and you're like, oh shit, okay, you know, defeat 3 dungeons solo, and you're like, all right, I better go knock that out so that, you know, I can make room for new bounties because I'm almost at 10. So if I just do all of my dungeons by myself, I just, you know, knock those bounties out without even having to worry about them. So that's the reason I do bounties solo, do dungeons solo, is just because those bounties that do a dungeon solo or do a dungeon without friends, I just complete them without having to worry. So that's the reason. Okay, we've done some dungeons without luck. Let's go and try to get some duo bombs, whatever they're called, and see how we go with this. Yeah, no love whatsoever just yet. But hopefully, if we were going to get snubbed by familiars without offering themselves up for persuasion, I'd prefer it to be dungeons than raids. Just because raid epics I don't know the actual numbers. I know Cats Kittens commented saying that Epic's familiars have a 1.5% chance of showing up for Persuasion. I don't know if that's just raid epics or whether that's dungeon epics as well, like epics across the board. I'm not sure. But to me, it could just be, you know, personal feeling, the bad RNG, all that sort of stuff. But to me, it feels like dungeon epic fams show up for Persuasion way less than dungeon bosses. Raid epic fams show up way less than dungeon bosses, epic fams. So, if an epic fam that I'm going for is going to offer itself up, I prefer it to be a raid one. Just because, again, personally, I feel like they're rarer to catch. But, like I said, it might be 1.5% across the board, and it's just a feeling that I have, but I don't know. Going back to, you know, Driffin and Squib and all those, you know, dungeon, raid epic familiars that just seem impossible to catch, it just feels like they're harder to catch than dungeon bosses, right? Yeah, that seems like they're harder to catch, but it also seems like they come up for Persuasion less. Like, if you watched my top 5 cosmetic mount I would like to see in the game video, then you would have seen that my number 1 was Grimm's, and the reason for that was more of a vendetta against Grimm's. Also, I think it would just be a cool kind of mount. But the fact that I spent over, what was it, like 3,000 energy or something trying to get him, and he came up for Persuasion like 30 times or something, but he wouldn't say yes, and I refused to spend gems on him. It was more like a principle thing. I'm like, I'm gonna get you for gold, I don't care how long this takes, you son of a bitch, I'm not throwing gems at you, too bad, I'll get you eventually. And I did, obviously. But yeah, like, he came up with Persuasion quite a bit, 30 times we'll say. I don't know, I'm guessing there, but it was a lot. But, you know, he didn't necessarily say yes. It's kind of the same thing I'm going through at the moment with Yeti as well. Like, he's coming up for Persuasion here and there, but I've only got 2 of him. But the fact that they are offering themselves up seems that they're a little more happy to join you than raid epics, because raid epics just have a really low chance. Like, if Cats Kittens, what she was saying is 1.5% chance, is super low. So yeah, I just feel like dungeon epics are a little more friendly. And then raid bosses and the Oxler and Bully and all that, they're in a completely different league. They basically never come up for Persuasion ever because they're jerks. Okay, we'll do one more of this, and then we'll do 2 Driffins, 2 raid 2s at least, hoping for Driffin. And hopefully, even if we don't catch something, hopefully something comes up. Because as I've mentioned in most of my Thursday videos, that unless something comes up and says, hey, you're cool, I might want to join you, throw some gold at me and I'll make my decision. It feels like a failure. You know, like, you do 6 dungeons and 4 raids and no one thinks you're cool. It's you know, it hurts your self-esteem. It's like, oh shit, I thought I was alright. Apparently I'm just like a smell or something. I don't know. Well, again, we've got 3 of our raid dudes have fart juice on. Fart juice there. Fart juice there. 4 of them. We got 4. I'm the only one that's not farting the whole time. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to join a team of people just farting on their life away. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. Although robots don't smell. By don't smell, I mean they don't have the ability to smell things. So the robot should join us. Driffin, maybe not. So it's not looking good. No love from the robots. So the last cosmetic mount bundle they brought out, speaking of the mount video and mounts, kind of, was this Torlim and whatever came with him. I think this guy's name's Torlim. So they're probably due for another cosmetic mount bundle, I would say. They sell like crazy. And, you know, they did all the mounts for the expedition, and now they've got that jelly mount from the invasion as well. So they're probably due for another cosmetic mount bundle, and we'll see what comes out of that, whether any of my top 5 make it or not. We shall see. Or whether they break their current kind of way of doing the mount bundles. So again, in that top 5 cosmetic mounts video that I did, I mentioned that all of the cosmetic mounts that have been purchasable in the shop have all been non-raid. They've been non-legendaries and non-fusions. So there's been some dungeon bosses like Tall M, but there hasn't been any fusions. So there hasn't been, you know, you couldn't have like Bobodom as a mount, for instance, and there haven't been any dungeon raid bosses either, or I don't think raid epics either, maybe. So we'll see if they break that and, you know, bring out like this dude as a mount. That would be kind of funny. Okay, that's done. Let's go Driffin hunting. We'll see if Sex Horse wants to join us again. So I was doing Raid 2 for a Driffin. There we go, Robot Sprocket. I still get questions about them as well. And the answer is they just randomly drop from anywhere. There's no way you can specifically farm them. So if you're looking for Robot Sprocket, I should say, for Yobbo, just keep playing. You'll get them eventually. There's no way you can actually farm them. Anyway, I've been doing Raid 2. Some of my dungeons, some of my raid shards I've been using on Raid 2, just trying to get the Driffin off camera, because I know we've done Raid 2 quite a bit, and Driffin's a son of a bitch that never wants to come up for persuasion. And I got another purple axe guy. So whatever this dude's name is, I now have 4 of him. I know he goes into Roleska, and I think to fuse a Roleska I only need a dungeon boss epic. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, it's Dryad. All I need is Dryad, and I can fuse and then stable a +1 Roleska. So maybe we'll add Dryad to the list as well. And when we get him, then we can. I've got everything else I need to make a Roleska. Then we can stable it and have a +1 Roleska for PvP, which will be good. So yeah, we'll add Dryad to the list as well. I forgot this like moose mount thing existed. Completely forgot. Because when I think of the mounts that the devs have made, specifically, like they're not just like fams that are already in the game. I thought of the wolf mount and that like fire demon dog looking one, but I completely forgot. Oh, and there's the helicopter thing as well, isn't there? Yeah, I forgot about both of them actually. Either way, doesn't really matter. Okay, we should be finished here as soon as we get this gold coin, I think. Nope. Not quite. Where are we going? Okay, a random chest in the background. Alright, was that 2 raids? No, that was 1. Okay, we'll do 1 more, and then we'll finish up. Hopefully, this is the one that someone offers themselves up. Because if not, then, yeah, as I mentioned, it's a bit of a kick in the nuts. There we go, good old Sex Horse. We don't need all, you know, catching them is always good, but we don't actually need him for anything right now, so we'll just use gold. And we're using gold anyway. As I said, we need to save up about 5k. So let's see if Sex Horse wants to join our sex dungeon. He does! Oh, the Sex Horse loves the sex dungeon. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. He's got another Sex Horse in there. We already have 1. So they're just in there having a great time. Having the best of time. Good old Sex Horse. Reliable Sex Horse. And he's got 4 of his purple axe buddies as well. Maybe that's why Driffin doesn't want to join us, right? Maybe it's just like, why do you have a sex dungeon with 2 sex horses and 4 purple axe guys? all sitting in a corner, just like crooning. I don't want to go in there. That's nasty. And to be fair, I mean, I wouldn't want to go in there either. But you know, he's buddies with them in the raid, so maybe he doesn't want to go past buddies. Doesn't want to be butt buddies. Well, we can call it a success. Didn't get Driffin. Well, there's still a chance, I guess. But we did get Sexos, which is good. And there's still a chance of getting Kaleido as well, which did not happen. Okay, is there an oh, there is a Driffin. There's 2 Driffins left. On the map at least. Potentially more. Yes. No. Apparently no. Gold coin. Oh! It was Driffin galore down here. Holy shit. Not that it's going to help us at all. Driffin was one of the other mounts I thought would look cool. Cosmetic mounts I thought would look cool. Like, there's a lot of surface area on his back where you could fit a you know, a hero. Kind of like a horse. Not Sex Horse, mind you. Sex Horse would be an alright mount as well, actually. Can ride him for real. And that's it. I think. Das is it. Das is it. Well, no Driffin, but a Sex Horse. Still a win. We'll still use him for something. I think he might be Korgs. I can't remember. I really can't remember. There's too many fusions and stuff. What I should do is I should write down all of the main fusions on a piece of paper and have it next to my desk, so I can just quickly look and I'm like, Sex Horse goes into the, but I haven't done that yet. But I should do that because I should have the information available. It's hard to remember everything while you're doing commentary, as you can probably imagine. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you like this video, click here to see another one just like it. If you're new to the channel and like what I'm doing, click here to subscribe and become the newest member of the Chicken Coop. If you really like what I'm doing, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description, where you can help support me and help the channel grow. You'll also find a link to the channel's Discord server where you can chat with me and other members of the Chicken Coop. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.